Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Glad to have Jack Melton back on the program. He's been a guest on the program before. Did a great job and wanted to get him back on. He is with the North American Solutions, which is a really interesting and very important risk management company, and emphasizing public entities, but also other organizations as well, kind of expanding and diversified, I learned in our last conversation. But kind of give us the elevator speech. Good to see you again, buddy.
Good to see you. I appreciate you having me. Well, the elevator pitch is North American Solutions provides insurance for colleges, schools, cities, and counties. And we're part of a larger family of companies who has over 55 years experience and together serve more than 4,000 public entities nationwide.
And my understanding is that heavily in Texas, but you also have footprints around the country. You have a particular interest in Florida. Didn't you tell me that?
We do. We're actually, right now, we're in the middle of some due diligence in Florida, and things are looking very promising. And we're basically taking our business model that we've had success with everywhere else and bringing that to other states. So Florida is definitely top of our radar right now.
Talk a little bit about that other areas of diversification that you've been interested in.
Well, one of the things that makes a lot of sense for us is we're heavily into the school business, so we've got an opportunity with private schools and private universities. We actually have had a lot of our clients that have worked in the public sector that have moved to charter schools, for example, and they've come to us and asked us if we've had programs for charter schools. So that's probably the thing that makes the most sense for us right now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because obviously they're always trying to figure out how to take care of their employees. One of the things about schools is, generally speaking, but particularly really most universities as well have this problem. They can't always pay a lot. They can't compete as much as some of the other entities out there, but they do always try to make sure they take care of their employees when it comes to things like insurance. And so with how challenging things have come over the last few years, I would think companies like yours would be more valuable now than ever.
It is. Right now people are looking for advice. They're looking for expertise. They're looking for personal service. And so, that's one of the reasons that, in such a people business, we hire the best people. That's one of our first points on our 5-point strategy is investing in the best people and putting them in the right role to provide that level of advice that our clients are looking for.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Talk a little bit about how things have changed for your company over the last few years, particularly with the Affordable Care Act.
It's got interesting. There's a lot more legislation you need to stay on top of. It still is a very competitive environment. It's been competitive for about the last 10 years. The insurance market goes in cycles, but right now it's very competitive. There's a lot of confusion out there, so just trying to get that narrow bandwidth for our client to focus on the most important things so they can make the best buying decision they can.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about how that step looks. Tell me how the process looks that makes you guys different from others out there.
Well, we have a 5-point strategy, and the 5th point of that strategy is consistently communicating the value of our offering in a professional and creative manner. And the reason that's important is because in our business, when we're working with risk managers who actually make the buying decision, they understand the relationship. We have a great level of trust with them. But in public entities, they need to communicate the value of that offering to their boards that are elected officials. And these people we don't always have an immediate audience with. So it's important that we provide our clients the tools to help communicate the value of what they're investing in on behalf of their employees.
Absolutely. Jack Melton, he is President and CEO of North American Solutions. Give us the scope of services that you are providing.
Okay. Well, right now, we specialize in placing property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance, and then we package that with risk management resources to help drive down our clients' overall cost. Our goal is to provide the highest quality experience and the lowest long-term cost. These are public entities, so they need to have the best long-term result on their fund balance on behalf of their taxpayers. So that's what we specialize in, and our 5-point strategy helps deliver that.
Right, and you don't do anything in the health and life arena at this time,
our family
you farm
companies,
that out to partners.
Basically. Yeah, we have a lot of strategic partners, and also within our large family of companies, American Fidelity, which is one of the larger companies in our group, is a big health insurance provider, voluntary products like dental, life, accident, things of that nature. So we have a lot of expertise within our group to bring to clients throughout the country.
Yeah. So this is a business show, so I'm kind of interested in some of the business strategies you're deploying in order to expand your business into the education market. Talk about that.
Okay. Well, for just a quick review of our 5-point strategy is, number one, like I said, we invest in the best people and put them in the right role. Number two, we design client-friendly sales and service processes. 3, we provide access to the world's most competitive insurance markets to shop on behalf of our clients. And then 4, we deliver innovative risk management resources to drive down that overall cost. And the 5th part is what we just talked about, communicating the value of that offering. That fundamental strategy really helps us achieve the results we're looking at, really no matter what area we're in, whether it's property, liability, healthcare, anything like that. It's a fundamental strategy, so that's been very beneficial for us.
Mm-hmm. But in other words, you're getting a lot of attraction rather than a lot of promotion. I mean, obviously you've got to promote. It's the most competitive industry out there.
Absolutely.
I think is insurance.
Absolutely.
But you're getting a lot through referrals and that type of thing. But now you're going to a different marketplace. The schools, the private schools are different fundamentally than the government entities. Who you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. How are you reaching out to them? What kind of things are you doing for engagement? I know it's still relatively early on, but talk a little bit about that.
Well, our marketing philosophy is education based. So rather than going out there and being like a typical vendor and saying, here we are, we're great, we're big, and here's what we do, we actually provide some resources that help them in their daily jobs. We plug in with the associations that they trust the most, which is usually your state school board associations or PREMA, Public Risk Management Association organizations, and we bring educational resources. Things that our clients can actually get continuing education credits, get some real life information they can go back to their job and actually deploy and help them in their daily jobs. So when we can bring them resources from that standpoint, they start to understand more the value of the offering that we bring to them as partners.
Mm-hmm. Makes a lot of sense to me, and so I think it's exciting to hear about the expansion and the growth. And what percentage of your business today is government entities?
Over 90%.
Over 90%.
So the private is definitely a new opportunity for us, and we're excited about it. We don't look at it as a new area. Like I said, it's just the difference is public versus private, but fundamentally it's the same. So we have a lot of opportunities to take our model to other public entities across the country as well as private entities. Mm-hmm.
And so it would be interesting to see how that grows. Would you like to have the private entities or the non-government entities be half your business, 40% of it? I mean, do you have projections from a strategic planning aspect?
50-50 would be a good mix, and there is that potential out there for sure. And it's something that we can invest really the next 5 to 10 years building. So it's something we have a very long strategic plan, and we're very vested in that, and we have what we call patient capital. So we're excited.
Probably at some point you might want to look at the nonprofits in general. I mean, those would probably be attractive entities as well. And I'm a big fan of the wisdom of Solomon. He always said never put all your goods on one ship, but send them on multiple ships, because things happen. And so diversifying your business makes a lot of sense. So it sounds like you're doing some good things. 30 seconds left. Jack Melton, President and CEO of North American Solutions. That's NASrisk.com. Final thoughts.
Well, just generally speaking, from a general business perspective, I was fortunate early on in my career to learn the value of not trying to be all things to all people. Diversification is key, but I believe if you find a niche and you learn that niche better than anyone else and service the hell out of it, you and your clients can be better off.
Yeah, get different clients, not necessarily different services.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, you might know it. You might be able to relate to Mr. Haney from Green Acres.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
He could sell anything, but none of it was very good. We don't want to be Mr. Haney.
Well said.
Jack Melton. I haven't used that analogy in a long time, but
That's
I love
good.
it. People
I
get
heard it.
I think it's a generation problem now. It's like
certainly.
But I love it. All right, Jack Melton. Thanks again, buddy.
Thank you.
When we come back tomorrow, we're going to have much more for you. Doing our Mind You Best content here can be found over there at usdatareview.com. Have a great day. Spend it wisely right here.